Hey, Blasteroid, back with another Satisfactory PC version save share. If you go to the video description, you'll be able to download this level and try it out yourself. Recently, the console version of Satisfactory came out, and we went ahead and tried to do Battleship again on the console version to see if it's even possible. It was technically possible, but there's a lot of areas that we flew to that would actually crash the game. So because of that, went ahead and rebuilt the console version in the PC because the console version has some features I've never done before. It worked really, really well except for the crashing, and I wanted to preserve it and share it with you. Plus, I couldn't share a console save anyway. So let's show you what we have here. The version name is just called BS for short on this version. There's a few features that's new. For example, the hits and misses show within 1 second. Very quick board layout activation. The hit counter can be found on the floor like we've done in the past, but we're using the new belt counter system, and you'll see it on the wall to show the hits. On every hit, you're going to hear a fuse break. Very, very triggering for some, I know, but I've got that activated. And wind detection will activate an elevator that you can ride up to the winner's room. We're not going to show the winner's room on this video because I want it to be a surprise when you download the file and try it yourself. But here's the really cool feature. This is one of my favorite new features. Optional streamer mode on blue side lets streamers play against their chat. And I'll show you how that works here in a second. It is optional though, so if you want to go ahead and play your normal one player goes to blue side and the other player goes to yellow side, you can definitely do that. So pick your color, enter the ship setup room, and follow the instructions on the wall. I do have fly mode enabled, so just double jump real quick and you can just fly around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pretend I am blue player, and I'm going to go ahead and act like I'm a streamer, because I actually am a streamer on Twitch if you want to come join me one day. We actually built most of this level on Twitch, but there again, it's optional. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it here anyway. Alright, so what you need to do is set up your ships, all 5 of them. A carrier has 5 segments, Battleship 4, Cruiser 3, Submarine 3, and Destroyer only 2 segments. You can only go up and down, no vertical. And to set up a ship, you basically need to go over to a power nub and you're going to pull it. For example, let's do C4. And we'll do C5. Alright, so we have a 2 ship here. Our small destroyer has been placed. I should go ahead and place the other 4 ships. For this video, I'm not going to do it, but you need to do it in your thing, or that's cheating. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the streamer mode room real quick. There are some instructions for streamers. When you're placing your ships, you should hide the screen. Go to some other picture or blur it out, whatever you want to do on your stream. Just make sure chat can't see you placing your ships. But when you pull this switch, the yellow side will randomly get placed all 5 ships. So the streamer will never know where the chat ships are. Streamer's player number 1, blue, and chat is player number 2, yellow. So let's go ahead and pull that. And then we can go to the exit. Now here we're going to activate the portal to go to the game room. But there is a very important note here next to the portal switch. If you do not set up your ships before activating the portal, you'll need to restart the game. Because what's going on, there's a logic behind the scene that while this portal's being activated, it's triggering some things and setting up the game board. That's how I can get the game board to activate so quickly. When you're ready to play, it's all 100 slots are ready to go and are loaded. So, alright, let's go ahead and enter our portal. If you're playing the traditional 2-player multiplayer game, yellow is on their side doing their ship setup, and you can actually see on the other side there's their portal they're going to be coming from. Alright, here we go. Typical Battleship 10 by 10 grid, A through J, 1 through 10. On the wall here you can see the hit counter, 17 equals win, but on the floor we're going to do a physical pip system too, and when they get to this line that means you've won. So it'll come up to 17 when you're done. I went ahead and listed the ships on the back wall here, you can remember, and there's a few instructions. For example, who goes first? Play rock, paper, scissors, pick a high number, who's the prettiest, whatever you want to do to pick a player first. Take turns guessing until all ships have been sunk. If the player that started wins, though, the second player gets to go at least one more time. So there is a potential to tie. And whenever you do win, you're going to activate your elevator here. So if you do tie, both elevators will actually work. Right now they don't work. We don't get the elevator music. We don't know where the hell this thing even goes. I'm not going to show you in this video because I want that to be a surprise. Really cool room up there that will, I think you'll like it when you see it. All right, let's go ahead and actually play here and see what happens. I'm going to pretend I'm yellow right now, and then we'll win the game by playing blue. But I'm going to pretend I'm player number 2 yellow, chat, for example, in this mode. And I'm going to go to Circuit Break Priority tab, and the top section is for player 1 blue, and the bottom section is for player 2 yellow. So I'm going to guess player number 2 guesses A1. We go up here to A1, you'll see we missed. We got a little white square. That means you missed. All right, I think it was C4 that we placed it on, the most explosive one on the board. So let's go to C4 and guess that. Now typically you're going to take turns, but in this video I'm just demoing. You saw the fuses got blown there, so every time you make a hit you're going to get triggered by a fuse blown. So hope you enjoy that. And now we'll go ahead and pretend we're player blue, and I'm just going to guess them all just to end the game here real quick. I want to show you behind the scenes of how things were made. Just do them all. And there's 17 blown fuses all at one time. That is very tricky. You see our green light just came on, so that inside the elevator is now working. Some slugs are coming, and the elevator door even opened for you automatically. On the loser side, ooh, almost got killed there. They just get a nice little train wreck. So hopefully that blocks them from coming into your elevator. So, but like I said, I'm not going to go in the elevator and show you that off. But if you win a game, go see it for yourself. All right, let's go ahead and leave the game room board. I'll kind of show you behind the scenes just a little bit. All right, this is the belt layout for this version of Battleship. Quite a few belts have been placed on this version. And you're going to notice here, we've created something called a backfill system. A ton of screws are right here. And then some items there. If you actually go a little bit lower, you also see some more items if you set up a ship. So what's happening here is when you're doing a guess, you're removing the screws and presenting the items on the board. For ship setup, there's some additional items for showing hits on the floor and wall. Oh, I did forget to show that. We need to go back in and show that. Some concrete for counters. The computer is a hit, and the time crystal is the miss. Let me fly back in there real quick. Did forget about that. You can see our counter is at 17 hits, and then our pips that got drawn on the floor right here, and they ended right where you should win. And even a little door, so this is where they come in. All right, let's get back to the behind the scenes tour here. So very colorful because I wanted to create a color for each layer. I think I did 5 colors and 5 colors again. And then over here, you get a little disco mode if you ever put these vertical lifts all together with different colors. So that's a pretty cool technique. If you want to use that, go for it. I think it'd be a cool wall display for something. As far as logic room goes, there's a splitter logic room here for giving 200 wrong items to the board. And then on each side, we have 100 logic rooms for ship setup and guessing, another 100 for the blue player, and then another 100 logic rooms for that sound effect when you do a hit, and then of course another 100. So 400 logic rooms had to be created, 400 including these two, so 402. But check this out. Back here is the magic for streamer mode. I told you it was random. Yes, it's random. Let me kind of explain what I mean by it. What I've done here is I've created 20 layouts. In order to do the layouts, I had to do a lot of coal generators, like almost 300 coal generators. This is 20 layouts. And it's going to randomize whichever one it picks when you pull that green switch. How I've done the randomization, I'll go ahead and give you a little sneak. Let me see if I can find my item that we're looking for. Oh, we already triggered it. What was happening there was a piece of biofuel that was going around this in circles. When you pull that green switch, it activated every one of these rooms at the same time. So whichever room that biofuel was near whenever you activated the switch, it's going to enter. That's what makes it random, not the logic, but the player itself. Because unless they're a robot and they spawn in and run straight to that green switch, there's a lot of time, every time they play, it's going to be different. They're talking with chat. They're setting up their ships. They're walking around talking and reading signs and things like that. I doubt they're ever going to hit that exact same millisecond every single time. And a Mark 6 belt, we know those things are pretty quick. So that is kind of how you can do randomization in Satisfactory, by not truly randomizing it, but letting the player activate something, and then it goes into a room that is nearby when it gets activated. The activation time when it gets activated is what's random, so not the logic. So that's kind of the how it works. But go through, pick out some things. If you ever make it to the winner's circle, there actually is some signs on the wall that give a little bit more examples of how the level was made. And this is more surprises. I'm not going to show you up there. That's a treat. That's for you to download. Look at the video description. You'll find a download link. If you're a streamer, not a streamer, I don't care. You have full range or whatever you want to do with this level. I'm not going to copyright strike you or do anything stupid like that. I like to share these type of designs, hopefully inspire others to create some mini games, show how you can create logic. There are two things I wish CopyStain would do to help logic. They actually broke one system. Right now, the coal generators, when they run out of coal, they blow a fuse, and you manually have to activate the fuse. Because of that, there is no reset by feeding in another piece of coal. That does destroy a lot of my logic that I've used in the past. The other one is that, what's it called? The uploader thing. I forgot where that's even at. Organization. Yeah, the dimensional depot will upload items. Man, if we have a downloader too, that would open the door. I wouldn't have to run a billion belts. I could do an uploader and a downloader. Hopefully link those two together. Man, that would open the door for saving me a ton of days of running belts. We can have those two features. One, turn the coal generators back to the way they used to be, where they don't really blow a fuse. They just run out of power. You give it another piece of coal and it reactivates the power. I would like to see that re-implemented. But yeah, leave a comment down below, rude remark, question, whatever you want. I'll either answer it or ignore it. Until next time, adios.